Hey guys! Okay, so I'm gonna start the first half of this video tonight with the comments I already have before I go to sleep, and then I'll continue on tomorrow. So, here's one of the questions I have. It says, why are you so sassy? Good question. Maybe it's just because I'm a girl. Or it's unexplainable. There's really no telling. Another question is, how do you feel about Western pleasure, likes and dislikes? I used to show Western pleasure, not necessarily show. I'll give you the little story on that. When I was little, before I moved further up north in Texas, when I used to live in Corpus Christi, I rode at a Western pleasure place, and of course it was like, I was like 7. It was like low-key Western pleasure. I don't mind it. There's some stuff going on now that I don't like to see. I don't like the gaits that look like the horse is dead lame and it looks like they're struggling to push themselves along. I think it's kind of atrocious in a way. I just like the overall, kind of look of it. And besides that, they look neat and they look clean and pretty and kind of, prepped up for show. The riders are so glamorous. The horses are pretty nicely trained too. I like seeing a horse that's pretty well trained. I think a lot of Western pleasure horses are well trained in most Western disciplines compared to speed events. Somebody asked me what my goal in life was. I don't really have a goal in life just yet. Just to, I guess, live happily ever after in a way. It seems kind of silly, but that's all I really want right now. I'm so focused on my relationship more than anything else that all I want right now in life is to have such a good relationship that's gonna last me until the end. That would be pretty great. I forgot to let you guys know beforehand, there's gonna be some really random comments, and I can promise you a couple of them are from my fiance. If you don't understand the answer, that's fine. It's kind of an insider between me and him, but he told me I better put them in the video, so I might as well go ahead and put them in the video. Here's another one that says, favorite breed, color, least favorite, and best ride you've ever had. My favorite breed, surprise, surprise, is the quarter horse. My favorite color, right now it's probably pretty biased because of my horse. I absolutely love roans. I like my bay roan, but I think my favorite would have to be a really, really roany blue roan. Super, super pretty. But yeah. Best ride I ever had, honestly, would probably be my recent rides on Hagen. My recent rides on Hagen are one of the biggest achievements I've probably ever had. Ever since I've really focused on what my horse needs and less on what I want to achieve. Well, not necessarily less on what I want to achieve. I just understand that I can't achieve it quickly. We've had some really nice rides recently. He's starting to come together pretty nice and it's making me happy. Here's one that says, do you like chickens? Fun fact. When I was in 5th grade, I raised 50 chickens for 4-H. I love chickens. They are seriously the cutest thing ever. Like, I remember last New Year's, my neighbor across the street raises chickens for laying eggs. She has her own, egg thing going on. I went over there on New Year's and sat in her hen house and played with all of her chickens and tried to catch the rooster. That didn't really go down. That rooster was scary. So you told me not to answer this in the video, but I'm going to answer it in the video anyways because I feel like some people need to know this answer. This question was, is the girl making the videos the one and only admin? No, I'm not. I'm just the only Wow, I can't talk. I'm just the only admin that has shown my face so far. There are 2, and I can tell you the other admin is getting ready to make videos as soon as she gets home from her vacation. So y'all will get to meet admin number 2. My favorite bit, I got asked what my favorite bit was. I don't pay much attention to bits, Most recently, I've been riding in a little S hackamore, which I've actually kind of taken off my gelding and started working him in an O-ring snaffle. I never really paid much attention to bits until the last year and a half or so, and I haven't really used one. At the beginning of the like in the year and a half, at the very beginning of the year and a half, I used a Tender Touch. When I bought Hagen, they had been riding him in a junior cow horse, and I didn't want to drift too far away from a junior cow horse, and I had gone to Tractor Supply to buy a bit, and they didn't have a junior cow horse, so I got kind of the closest thing, which was a Tender Touch. To me, he seemed really uncomfortable in that Tender Touch, so I switched him into a hackamore. And recently, like I said, I've been working him in an O-ring, and he works absolutely beautiful in an O-ring flat work or even on the pattern. It's insane. I love it. How many horses do you have? What are their names? And how old? So I'm going to explain this, and then I'm going to put pictures and the names and the age after this section. I have 3 horses. I have Paco. She's a quarter horse, and she's 15. I have Hagen, who's a quarter horse, and he is coming 6. And then I have Gunner, who's a paint. He's 2.5.
Down with somebody I know, I guess that's just how it goes when you break up in a small town. I see our friends and they put on a show like they don't want me to know, so they give me the go around. But there's only so many.
Do you like Appaloosas? I actually adore them. I would really, really love to have an Appaloosa. I'm just kind of picky on the coat pattern. I used to take lessons when I lived in Corpus Christi because we didn't have enough space to own a horse. One of the first horses I rode when I got to the new barn, when I got to this barn I was riding at, I rode it 2 in Corpus Christi, 1 long term. Her name was Cherry Pie, and she was the cutest little leopard Appaloosa I had ever seen in my life. She was so sweet, and she took such good care of me. Recently, I went back to Corpus Christi to visit my family, and I went and saw Cherry Pie. She's retired now. She's in her mid-30s. She is blind in both eyes, and she's going kind of deaf. So my old trainer told me when you approach her, you just kind of have to be a little loud and let her know you're there. And when she looks at you, she basically is letting you know, okay, I know you're there, you can come up to me. It was kind of bittersweet. It was awesome being back with her again, but it kind of broke my heart to know that I might not see her again. Another thing was I was actually at a barrel race on this past Sunday, and this girl was riding this Appaloosa, a beautiful, beautiful Appaloosa. She was thick, she was big, and she ran a smoking pattern. I think they're cute. I think they're adorable little. Where did you go to college, or where do you plan to go to college? I'm not really picky on it because I don't know what I want to do just yet. I am right now going to a community college near me just to get my basics done. When I move to Georgia, I'm not going to be going for that next semester, for the spring semester. I'll start back next fall. And eventually I'll find out what I want to do. I'm just torn between so much. I just don't even know. I don't even know where to begin. How old were you when you started riding, and how old were you when you got your first horse? Riding around with my family, I was really young, but that wasn't riding by myself. When I started taking lessons, I was either 5 or 6. I'm not for sure. And I started riding at a little barn, and I moved into that Western Pleasure barn probably about the time I was 6 or 7. I've been riding ever since. I swear I haven't even taken a break. When I got my first horse, I was 12. She was fun fact, my parents don't know much about horses. So they got me an off-the-track thoroughbred mare. She was between 16.2 and 17 hands, and she was accident prone up the wall. It was absolutely crazy. Some good experiences, lots of bad experiences. It was it's kind of bittersweet to look back on now too. Sadly, within the year that we had her, she got her shoe caught on a root in our pasture, and we don't know exactly what happened, but we think she either dislocated or broke her shoulder. We called numerous vets as an emergency call, and none of them would come out. One actually said they were busy with vaccinating a horse to come out, and she just couldn't walk. She was swollen on all 3 legs that she was having to put all that weight on. She couldn't make it across the pasture to get to the water. We would set a water bucket next to her, but it wasn't really helping. She wouldn't drink anyways. And she went down overnight, and we couldn't get her back up. And my uncle offered to put her down himself. Me being 12, I said no, and my dad refused to let him with me there. And she passed away. Now, you know I love you, but asking me for my opinion on Raleigh, I'm not going to put it in a video. It's irrelevant, and it doesn't need to be said. Pretty much the only thing I'm going to say is I don't dislike her. I don't like her. That's really all I can say without taking it another step further. When did you first start horse shows? When I was 8, maybe 9, I was supposed to have my first Western Pleasure show. I was super stoked. I was riding one of the trainer's his own show horses. It wasn't just one of the kids' horses. I was supposed to take him to a Western Pleasure show, and then we moved before I got to show. When we got here, it took about a year for me to get a horse and get, up and going and everything like that. And I didn't actually start competitively showing barrels until maybe 14 or 15, maybe a little sooner than 14 actually, and I've been competitively competing on barrels since. Thoughts on bareback riding. I actually thought bareback riding was okay and fun and cool up until recently when I had learned that prolonged bareback riding can actually hurt your horse or cause soreness in their muscles from the distribution of weight not being nearly as good as if you had a saddle. What do you think of it for balance benefits? I think it helps a lot with balance. I myself work either with, I hate saying it because I know it's, like I just said, it kind of contradicts what I just said. I work bareback with my horses sometimes throughout the pattern or even just in flat work, just so I can test myself and see how much I'm relying on that saddle and the horn and the stirrups. Give me a second, my phone keeps shutting off. What about bareback pads with the stirrups that can press on the withers? I've never actually looked into bareback pads. I've always just thrown like a saddle blanket or a towel or something over my horse. I've never looked into a bareback pad whatsoever. But if the stirrups put pressure on the withers, I would have to think that would cause some soreness. If it's not well padded, could it cause something similar to a saddle sore? I'm not really sure on that. I've never really actually looked at that. What are your thoughts on the studies that suggest a horse should only carry 10 to 20% of their own body weight? Do you agree or disagree? I agree. It's not that hard to tell that when you get past that, whatever percentage they're saying now, I know they've changed it in the past year, you can see the horse starts to have some issues. Like, example, I was just watching this video the other day on a Facebook group of a little reining pony, and it had a full adult rider on it. And you can tell, quite frankly, that when the rider got on it, the pony buckled and had to take a few steps, stagger its feet to get underneath this rider to where he could support this. I just think, I don't really know what to say on it. I don't want to offend anybody. I just think that you need to fit in the category that they're having, the 10-20%. It is scientifically proven for a reason. It's, I mean, oh my god. Oh lordy. Where is Hans, Carl? What? Carl, his hands. Where are his hands? They're missing. Well, I kind of cooked them up and ate them. Carl! Thanks, babe. What age do you think most horses should be started? Me personally, I believe around 3. I stated in the video before I wouldn't back a horse until they're 3. It's kind of upsetting me that now I need to sell my colt and he's 2.5, and I'm gonna have to start saddling him and lunging him with a saddle before I even wanted to, because nobody, I swear, I don't know why, nobody wants a colt. It's upsetting. How old are you? What's your name? What's your horse's name? How long have you been riding? Do your horses live at your house or do you board? I'm 19. My name's Ashley. My horses are Paco, Hagen, and Gunner. I've been riding, as y'all know, taking lessons since I was 5 or 6. My horses live at my house, so it's kind of easy to go out and see them when I'm upset or I need, you know, that awesome healing that they give you. How long do you think people should ride before buying a horse? That's kind of hard to answer. I can't give a certain amount. I can just give what I think people should know. I think people should know the risks in owning a horse and taking one in. I think they need to know the financial side of it. I also think they need to know the most common problems that your horses can have, you know, colic, founder, all this sorts of stuff. I think they need to be educated on the feeding of the horse. The only thing I can say is I think they need a basic education on the horse, and I think they need to know their basics on riding in a safe place to keep their horse. That's touchy. So somebody asked what other animals I like besides horses. Here's one. This is my absolutely favorite baby boy. His name's Knight. He's about, he's about 6 months old, maybe 5. Hi, handsome. How are you? And I'm gonna regret this one here in about 5-10 seconds. Bailey! Come on! Come here, baby. Come here. So hold on. So y'all can't see her. This one right here. I love dogs. This is my Catahoula. Her name's Bailey. She's cute. Fun fact, she got hit by a car when she was 3 months old and has no use in one of her back legs. Oh. Hi, pretty girl. How much do you ride weekly? Recently, it's been kind of questionable. For a little while, I actually hurt my meniscus. We don't really know what happened there. Who knows? And Hagen, for some odd reason, was kind of on and off limping. Not bad, but enough that I was absolutely not going to touch him in any sort of way. Like, you know, besides giving him love and, you know, everything. So for the past 2 months, I actually haven't rode that much. This past couple of weeks, I've rode maybe 2 to 3 times a week. We're trying to get back into the swing of things before I leave. I would like to go to one last race before I leave.